God's call the fourth time. So Samuel responded to God's call the fourth time, and he obeyed God. Samuel obeyed God's call and said that he was ready to do what God would instruct him to. So Samuel obeyed God's call. Samuel obeyed God's call. Samuel obeyed God's call. He was ready to do what God wanted him to do. So he was ready. He was ready to do what God wanted him to do. So he was ready to do what God wanted him to do. So after Samuel responded to God's call by saying, "Speak, your servant is listening," it meant that he was ready to do whatever thing that God will have asked him to do. That one tells us we are supposed to obey God. How do we obey God? By following the 10 commandments. God gave us the 10 commandments. When you follow the you follow the 10 commandments, it means that you are your elders. When you listen to what other people are telling you, as long as it is something that is good, that means that you are obeying God. So this is all about the call of Samuel. Samuel lived in a temple with priest Eli. He used to live in a temple with a priest called Eli. And Samuel was called 4 times. He was called 4 times by God. But 3 times Samuel thought it was priest Eli calling him. That is why the first, second, and third time he was running to priest Eli's room and asking him if he is the one who called him. But the 4th time, priest Eli realized that it was God who was calling Samuel. So he advised Samuel to go back to sleep, but when he is called again, he should respond and say, "Speak, your servant is listening." So Samuel went back to sleep, and the voice called him again, and he responded. So Samuel responded to God's call the 4th time. God's call the 4th time. And Samuel obeyed God's call. How did he obey God's call? When God called him, he responded. That tells us that when you are being called by your parent or any other person, you are supposed to respond. In fact, when you are at a far distance from whoever is calling you, you should run to that person and listen to what he or she wants to tell you. So Samuel obeyed God's call, and he was ready to do what God wanted him to do. Samuel was ready to do what God wanted him to do. And from the story of Samuel, we learn to be obedient. We are supposed to be obedient. Respect. You respect your elders, respect your parents, respect your teachers, respect your classmates. Copy the questions and make sure that you are answering them. In our next lesson, we shall be talking about something different. It will still be about a Bible story, but a different story, not be Samuel. We shall talk about another story from the Bible. So the assignment is here. Now you have 4 questions and the answers are provided in the brackets. So when you are reading the question, make sure you are also reading the answers in the brackets before you choose the correct answer. Now the first question, Samuel lived in a dash. Samuel lived in a dash. The answers in brackets, church, temple, house. Question 2, Samuel